Good morning, everybody. It is a wonderful morning today here, and for quite a few days we have no storms in the forecast. So it's one extra thing. Yeah, May here in Oklahoma is really rough, and we had an absolutely amazing spring to date with barely any tornadoes, because usually we average about at least I think 70 in April and well over 100 in May. But yeah, we had a few scares a few days ago, but now it's beautiful. As you can see, the blinds are down, and you can see behind me the sun shining through the blinds. So let's see what has been and what will be in the future. First of all, let me give you the news about Whisper. He's still doing great. Hi, Zenta. Thank you. Whisper is still doing great. He's still eating his food. He had no events of being sick whatsoever. So, once again, the CBD oil to the rescue. And not only that, but this time I found actually here in town, I had no idea they had that. But my best friend got some for him because the store is close to her house and she lives on the other side of town. But I got him some CBD oil that's bacon flavored, and it makes things so much easier because he's not struggling now when I give it to him. And it was hilarious. I'm sorry I couldn't. Hi, Teresa. I couldn't tape the whole thing because it was kind of hard to do it with just one hand. But the first time I let him, I got some in the eyedropper and I put it in front of his nose and I touched his nose, so I left a little bit of a smear. And he was absolutely shocked. And he started shaking his head and his eyes went big and he licked his nose and he was like, okay, I know this is supposed to be disgusting, but it actually sounds fabulous. So anyway, so now he's not struggling. He lets me give him the CBD oil with no problems, and he's eating good. He's hopefully he went completely past this hurdle once again. We'll see in a couple weeks. We'll repeat his liver enzymes and see how he's doing. Exactly. He's bacon. Of course, he's still upset about the fact that he cannot have a lot of other things. And actually, I need to call the vet to ask if he's allowed to eat cabbage because he threw a fit the other day that he wanted cabbage. Um, but anyway, the kitties are good too. So let's get through what has been. Once again, I was a little bit slowed down. Hi, Cecile. I was a little bit slowed down by pet issues. So I didn't post as many tutorials as I had planned, but you know, as long as I can still make them, tomorrow is another day, right? To paraphrase Gone with the Wind. And other things, yeah, I had to pretty much reschedule all my doctor's appointments except for the one for the spine doctor that's going to be a week from tomorrow because I don't want to leave Whisper for so long. Hi, Julia, for so long alone. Um, he has separation anxiety. So every time I leave the house, I can hear him howling inside. But yeah, hopefully he'll get past it and it will be everything okay again. One thing I learned that I must not ever take him off the CBD oil again. So I'm going to have to be sure to budget his CBD oil. Fortunately, it's not very expensive. It's only $32 for a month worth. So that is great. Now, let's see what I started last month, and I still have to finish. I got a little bit off track because this wonderful lady, Linda, sent me a whole bunch of those powders and waxes for me to try, and I fell in love with them absolutely. And I love them so much that I kind of put aside stuff that I had planned, and I played with those. And you go on my website, Zenta, and there's a link on the left. It says become a sponsor, and there's also sponsorship that describes all the sponsorship perks and benefits. Um, so I got distracted by this, and that's why the stuff that I started I didn't finish, but it's still coming. I mean, no worries. It did shift a little bit what I was going to show you now, because I had something else in plan to do a tutorial about on certain metals. But now receiving these waxes, the metal effect, hi Ellie, the metal effect is so much more realistic than what I had, that on some of them I'll be actually using some of these waxes, and probably show you some variants also with other media. But the thing that, because I never made a secret from the fact that, and I need to update on my website, there's a section there with what I use. I keep adding. I wasn't able to add anything in the last 2 weeks, and I fully have in plan. Um, Give me just a second, Ellie. I really have in plan to do some stuff on the website this weekend. I'm not going to work on any tutorial of any kind. We'll have the live tomorrow. Hi, Amber. Yeah, Ellie, there are waxes that are made by Prima, not made by, but distributed by Prima Marketing. They are made by Art Alchemy, and there are 3 lines of them. One of them are the line of Metallic, that are actually metal-like. Another one is the Antique Brilliance, that are, oh God, uh, they're like Fire Ruby and Amethyst Magic and Lucky Emerald, and they are gorgeous. And then a third line that's called Opal Magic, that are fairly transparent when added in just one layer, but they are iridescent, and they add all this shimmer. If you watch my latest tutorial, except for the one that I posted yesterday, um, and also the last live I had with the goddess pendant, I used them on those, but I fully intend to make an in-depth tutorial. I'm waiting for a few more so I can show you more than what I have right now, so you can see. But the fact that um, they change, they are so versatile, and the look and the color changes depending on the background, and also the fact that you can overlayer them one on top of the other and again change the color and the effect. And that's why I've been playing with them. Not day and night, but yeah, played with them a lot. And also, the other thing is that um, Trish managed to get them for prices that are lower than Amazon's, and they are definitely just a bit over half price from Gilder's Paste. And as I said, Gilder's Paste used to be my most favorite of all for getting the faux metal look. But since I got this, they are for scrapbooking, but they work perfectly on clay. And not only that, but they are permanent waxes. That means that once they are put there and they are hardened, they will not go away, so you don't need to seal them. And another thing is that they don't need like 24 hours like Gilder's paste. They are hard and ready to buff in 10, 15, 20 minutes, depending on how thick you put the layer on. And yeah, hold on, because I made some goddess pendants the other day, more than what I did. What did I, there you go. But see, these are made with those waxes, and then there are also some artisan powders. And I put the artisan powders. This one is the one made during the live, and then I made a few more. This is with blue lace agate stones, and this is with an aventurine stone. But yeah, you can get all kinds of looks with them, from metal to wood to all kinds of stuff. Um, and so to get back to it, yeah, some of the tutorials that I had planned, I shifted a little bit how I'm going to do them with the materials. Yeah, it is way better than Gilder's paste. And I am saying that again. The Gilder's paste was my most favorite of all over any other wax. I won't make a secret that, yeah, Inca Gold has beautiful colors, but I don't like it. For number one, it's not really a wax. It's not really a gilding material. It's an acrylic paste. And yeah, it dries fast, but generally it means that it dries on the finger from the container to the piece. And you're like, okay, I do one time, and then the second time it doesn't go anymore because it's already dried. And then it smears and it's a little bit gloopy. So yeah, the colors are gorgeous and you can use them for other things, but I always preferred the Gilder's paste. Yeah, if you go, actually, if you look at the tutorial I posted before last, I think that's the one where if you look in the description, I give directly the links to where Trish has put them in her store. And as always, I have to remind you that I would appreciate if whenever you order from Polymer Clay, if you would order going first on my website and clicking there on the Polyclay Play icon, because that's my affiliate link and I get a few cents out of everything that you purchase, and that doesn't increase your price at all, but that goes for credit on my account, so that when I order clay from Trish, I have a little bit of credit there, and that means that it costs me less. So you are contributing to helping me making all these free tutorials, because I can afford to get my materials without having to budget out of my food, you know. Yeah, they are 5.85. I think that's the price for all of them. I think she doesn't have all of them in stock. So on some of them you might have to pre-order, but considering the price on Amazon, yeah, I found some on Amazon, some that are like, and let me get to that after I say this, because I don't want to get all sidetracked. The cheapest I found on Amazon was like 5.87, but then it was not a Prime. It had also shipping costs. So, you know, the other thing is that, yes, if initially I had taken them off my Amazon influencer store, because Trish had put them in her store, I put them back in the Amazon influencer store because I had some requests to do so from my subscribers overseas, because it's cheaper for them to order from Amazon than to order from Trish and having to pay the international shipping. I don't know what kind of shipping things Amazon has, with international shipping and their branches in Europe. But hi, hello. But that's why you can find them back because normally I don't put in my influencer store what Trish carries, but especially on these ones, it's for my international subscribers because it's easier for them to order from Amazon than from Trish. Yeah, and I knew that because I had to verify, and Cecile confirmed it for me that it is better and that it can be ordered from Amazon by people who are in other countries. And by the way, you might want to check my Amazon influencer store because, and you should check it often because I always find deals. For example, I found some, and I need to add a few more things even. Um, I found, for example, some kits. I added a couple, I think, and I need to add some more. I found some kits for with jewelry findings that are anywhere between just a bit under $7 and $10, but they have anywhere between 120 and up to like 800 pieces, six colors, of let's say double coil jump rings, lobster clasps, pinch bails, all kinds of stuff, and they have all six colors for only this amount of money. And like the regular silver, antique silver, ancient gold, regular gold, copper, and gunmetal, something like that. You can go and look. And then I found some more beads and other findings. And the other thing that I got, and I got them for me, and you might want to look into it because I will show you soon in some tutorials how to make certain mixes. They are these absolutely adorable bottles, and they were like 8.90, I think, for 12 of them. Look at this. They are glass bottles, and they have metal screw lids, and they have the little thing inside that doesn't allow air to come, and they are absolutely perfect to make your mixes of like liquid clay, colored liquid clay, or whatever other mixes you want to make. So if you want to go ahead and uh, get yourself some, because as I said, I will show you soon how to make certain mixes. I am still looking for small spray bottles also to show you how to make some shimmering uh, sprays, because I saw some Prima Marketing has shimmering sprays, but when I looked them using them and all that, I realized that those should be able to be a DIY. So I'm experimenting with that a little bit. The other awesome thing that I found, and I've put them in the influencer store. Yes, so there's a ton of uses, and what I loved was the fact that they have the screw lid. I found these hinges. Remember when I did the aromatherapy infuser medallion and all that, and I can see a ton of uses on these. And you know that hinges, miniature hinges, are quite expensive, and they are not that tiny. Look at these ones. And I think that the price was for around $10, and there are 50 of them in a bag. And then, as I said, there's more stuff there. There's some Prima Marketing stuff that Trish is going to bring soon. They have, are you ready for this? They have another Opal Magic line that is iridescent duotone acrylic paints on Amazon, Zenta. Look, if you go on my channel, you'll see the A for Amazon. If you click on that, it will bring you to my influencer store. An influencer store is Amazon selects people who have, penetration in the market in a certain field, and those people can research and they can recommend certain products. Of course, from that too I get a few cents for every sale, and that helps with buying more stuff for myself to make tutorials. I'm telling you, everything goes for the tutorials. I mean, at this point I am glad, and that I'll talk about this here in a second, but yeah, there's I added some of their other paints because they have some a line of patinas that are also awesome, and so you might want to look because I added quite a bit of stuff, and stuff on most of it is if you look, there's a little comment that I make on most, especially on the ones that I have tried. And what I recently tried, and I wholly recommend, there's a kit. It's true, it's from China, but just don't dismiss everything that's from China, because not everything that's from China is crap. It's true that most of it is. It's what I call Chinesery, but not everything that's from China is crap. Um, there is a 72 pieces set, and I actually need to add the 48 pieces set because I purchased the 48 pieces set of wet dry sandpaper. They are about this size, but I got on this one, and it's awesome. It doesn't fall apart even if left in water overnight, and you get like 3 sheets with grits going from 120 to 3000, and they work beautiful. And 72 pieces is like $11 something, and this other one was, I think, like $7. But as I was trying to say, if you look at I put comments on most of those. I didn't put on all of them because I need to have time to go through them. Um, with what? Yeah. But you will see that there are some comments. If they don't pop up right when you open the store, if you hover with the mouse on the right corner, top corner of the product, my comment on it will pop out to you and will tell you what I think about that product. And other things, I did get quite a few things from my wish list, and I want to wholeheartedly thank the people who have purchased them for me, like Carrie and Linda and Deborah, and those are things that I will soon make tutorials with as well. If you notice in my latest tutorials, I have a new board that Carrie got for me from my wish list. It's a granite board, and number one, I got rid of the glare. And number two, it's not hard anymore when I use white and translucent clays to work with. It makes for a much better quality of the video as a tutorial. So, yeah, everything that is there is to help me to make better tutorials for you. And as I said, I got some more things that are now on the list of tutorials that I will make, and I will make public. Now, when it comes to, because Zenda just asked me, when it comes to the sponsorship, if I know I was told that I don't, maybe I should talk more about this because every other artist talks about, oh yeah, come on my Patreon, support me, and um, I'm sorry, man, I forget. I mean, how can I say it? For the 1st of March of May was for the first time since I started this channel, when with your help and support by purchasing using my polyclay affiliate button on the website, or following the links in the video descriptions. Polyclayplay.com. If you go to kalyanadesign.com, on the left hand side there's an icon. If you click on it, it will bring you straight to her. Thank you. So it was for the first time in a year when I actually broke even. I did not have to come out with anything from my budget. And believe me, when my income is $786 a month, that's my disability. Yeah, I have food stamps, but it makes a lot of extreme budgeting to be able to purchase everything I need. And the fact that I was able for this month to not have to budget, especially with the things happening with Whisper and everything, to not have to, restrict from food from here, or yeah, maybe I'll do less laundry and I'll just, you know, try and figure it out this month so I can get more translucent clay. Hi, Fran. It really moved me to tears because, and how can I say it? It's not just the clay, the clay and the other media and all that. You have to think that there's a price that's an increase in my electricity bill with all it's just is to take the computer and the oven going and the buffing and all that. Then I had to increase my internet speed, and that was a $20 a month increase so I can do the lives, and so it wouldn't take me a whole day to upload the video on YouTube. And all these little things, and also to keep the website up. So yeah, it was absolutely wonderful. It moved me to tears. And as I said, if you cannot afford to become my sponsor or to donate or to buy anything from my wish list, still by purchasing your materials through my affiliate links, you help me. You have no idea how much you help me. Because, for example, I was looking for April, that my Amazon earnings were $38. And as I said in a previous monthly chat with you, I have in my plan to get a bigger monitor or TV, because with my very poor eyesight, I mean, that's nothing for my own, because I can watch videos just fine on a smaller screen. But what happens, I am almost legally blind. Okay, I'm very, very nearsighted. I see perfectly close up, but the moment I take off my eyeglasses, everything that's farther away from here is a blur. So when I have to remove my glasses to work on something, because see, this is how it works. This is how it works. So I have my piece here, and I have to hold it in such a way that I can see it. And when you're nearsighted, it's not easy. And I have to keep it in the camera view as well. So I have to remove my glasses. Well, when I remove my glasses, the distance from my head to the monitor is of a little bit over 2 feet. So I see a blur. Sometimes I can figure out, well, hold on, the blur, that's my hand. I cannot see it, so maybe I went out of the video cameras field, web cameras field. But if I had a bigger monitor, then it would be much easier for me to figure out what's going on the screen. So what I decided, I have chosen for the Amazon influencer store to have all my earnings put on Amazon gift card. And as soon as I have enough, I'm going to get from Amazon a bigger monitor, or, like a 45 inches TV, one of those Smart ones, usually they are cheaper than the big monitors, but they can work as monitors. So that's one of my next goals. Of everything that I had as goals, I got this big sturdy table that I was yay. Deborah was kind enough to get me a pasta machine with a motor, so now I can condition clay without hurting. So there's three things that I need now. Is a bigger monitor, TV, whatever. Um, a more comfortable chair. That, because see, this one is not very good. It's an old computer desk chair, and as you know, I kind of had to shorten my life because lately I'm not able to sit for longer than an hour before my back starts acting up. The muscles on my back start acting up. So if I would have a more ergonomical chair where I could um, be able to lay down from time to time while I'm doing stuff, it would make it much easier. Because also when I work on the tutorials, like every 10 or 15 minutes, I have to take a break and go lay down. And the third thing, and I'm sorry, but I'm considering it also a tutorial expense, is a new pair of eyeglasses. Because this one started, not only that I need another prescription, that my eyesight is getting worse, unfortunately. But these started that UV film thing started peeling off. So I cannot see very well. Um, yes, I need an ergonomical type chair. I'm going to try and find one that's maybe, maybe in the Facebook marketplace or stuff, because that's how I found the table. And the table, I forgot how it was. It was $50, I think. And it was one of the best things ever because it's a custom made table by somebody and it's got a tiled top. So it's absolutely perfect for a working table. And that would be as big expenses for the tutorials. That is fine. And yeah, I have a fourth one, but I'm slowly getting there because I don't know. I mean, if you purchase your stuff from Polyclay Play, you know that you get perk points, and once you get 1,200 perk points, you can get a free Never Need machine, and that's my. I'm putting my perk points there. Welcome back, Amber. So yeah, this is the as bigger plans for expense and for that. Otherwise, at this point, I am so absolutely grateful that I didn't have to, restrict myself from anything, and everything was, covered by your kindness, even if it was not, as I said, by being my sponsor or purchasing things for me, just by buying things through my affiliate links. That was absolutely fabulous because, as I said, with my low income, $20, it's a big thing. If you put it this way, I mean, the twins' food cost me $30 a month. So $20 is like their food for 20 days. That now I can afford, I was able to afford this month because they had to suffer a little bit too. Instead of getting better food, they ate meow mix, but they are young and they are healthy and they were able to go through it. But I don't like to keep my pets on. I'd rather eat myself ramen, and I did, and I do, so I can get Whisper his uh, liver cancer diet. But, you know, you have no idea how much it means. That's what I'm trying to say, and how thankful I am for all your help. And the other thing that I wanted to say, I start getting more and more messages that really tell me that how worth it my effort is. I keep getting more and more messages from other people, not just ladies. So I got messages from some male subscribers too, that tell me that they are disabled as well, and they were in a pretty bad place, emotionally and um, all that, because it is very hard when you're disabled and when you're in chronic pain. It's the depression is, creeping up on you even if you don't want it. Because when you have an acute pain, you know that, okay, yes, I'll hurt for a day, two, three, but within 2 weeks it will go away because I will heal. When you're in chronic pain, that never goes away and it wears you down. And no matter how strong you are, at one point, it's and these people messaged me and emailed me to tell me that they were in this really, really dark place and thinking themselves not worth much anymore because they weren't able to do much anymore. But then they watched my videos and they were inspired by the fact that I am disabled, but I still didn't give up and I'm doing this. And they started actually doing um, polymer clay creation and how it brought them back, and they are in a better mood and they feel better about themselves and they feel better about their lives, and how much good my videos have done for them. And that makes me feel that it's all worth it. Because as I said from the start, I'm not into this just to show you, well, oh, look at me, how good I am and how I can make pretty things. And oh, yeah, give me your money. No, I'm into this in order to be able to share what I know for as long as I can. I still can do it because, as you know, my spine thing is a degenerative disease, so it will just get gradually worse. Um, yes, Fran, and thank you so much. Um, and I did it also to help others because there's a lot of times people are gifted, but they do not have the courage. They do not trust themselves that they can do really good stuff, and or they don't have. I'm not trying to tout myself as the most awesome teacher, but I think the fact that I did study pedagogy, and if you don't know what pedagogy is the science of teaching, helps me in explaining things a little bit better. And because of that, again, and I know this through messages and emails and all that, I helped a lot of people develop as artists. And like to give you one of my best examples is Cecile Shariel, who's in the chat, I hope still. I mean, I watched her within this past year evolving from a beginner who was very clumsy at doing everything. And Cecile followed my recommendations, to the T, because as again, other artists tell you, oh yeah, this is the tutorial, I'm showing you how it is done, but come with your own ideas, don't copy what I did. And I say the contrary. I say copy exactly what I did in this tutorial until you can do it exactly how I did it, because that means that you manage to master the technique. And once you're a master of the technique, then you can come and improve it and you can come and do more stuff. So Cecile went and tried and tried and tried and tried until sometimes And I could feel her frustration, poor lady, because it was on something she had to try like 4 and 5 times until she got it right. But then she did not give up. She just tried and tried and tried and tried until she did it. And then she started, a few months into it, she started, after she mastered the technique, she started putting her own touch into it. And I could see an artist being born in front of my eyes and see her evolution as an artist. And you have no idea how fulfilling that is and how much joy that brings for me. And others and others and others and others. And it brings me great joy also whenever I get photos and messages from my subscribers. Look what I did from your tutorial. And they are beautiful, like the recent one that I posted from Zion Docs. She made this gorgeous amethyst pendant with real amethyst, and she tweaked. Months ago, I did an elven pendant, and I showed you how to do the equivalent in polymer clay of the herringbone in wire wrapping. And she did that specific thing on her amethyst pendant, and it is so gorgeous. And see, these are little things in my life that make me happy. Very, very, very happy. Oh, thank you, Santa. Yeah, and it's all that, that makes it worth it, and all the efforts that I did. And I know that, and as I explained before, sometimes I say, and I got better about it lately. You notice I'm not promising that much. Sometimes I say, yeah, I will do this, and then something happens, and I cannot do it, or I have to delay it by 2 weeks, by a month. I will get to it eventually, but not when I first said that I would. And well, I came to terms with the fact that, all right, I cannot do more than this. I'll just do as much as I can. And I'm bringing you as much as I can, and I'm trying. Yeah, Zenta is a master in wire. She did if you look on my Facebook page, she did a beautiful wall decoration with the tree of life made in green amethyst. That is out of this world. It's absolutely fabulous. And, and that is so, so, so fulfilling for me. And the thing is that creation has a very therapeutic, beneficial effect on the mind. And it helps you overcome more than any of those think positive blah 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 things that are all over the internet and the law of attraction. And sorry, I think that all that is crap. And on a side note, I still remember that one of the things that was irritating me to no end, thank you, Amber, one of the things that was irritating me to no end when I was going through cancer treatment, and there'll be people who would be like, think positive. You serious? I was just telling them, well, I'm positive that I have cancer, and I'm positive that it sucks. Do you think I should be any more positive about anything else? But yeah, I mean, the think positive doesn't really do anything for you. And medically speaking, there have been studies done by, accredited um, um, establishments that have determined that thinking positive doesn't really do anything. For example, people who have cancer who thought positive died at the same rate as the people who did not think positive. So it's not about thinking positive. It's about waking up every day and saying, I don't know about tomorrow. I'll worry about it when it comes. This is the day this is at hand, I'm going to try to do my best. I cannot, and see, the thing is also another thing that's very, very hard whenever you're dealing with life-threatening or chronic diseases or degenerative diseases, is that you need to get used and accept a new normal, because it's exceptionally frustrating. You remember how you used to be, and the fact that you cannot do it anymore and your body betrays you. It's And see, the secret here is not about thinking positive. The secret here is about accepting that the you now has a different normal than the you 10 years ago. Because it's not just about aging, it's like an aging 100 times more serious. 10 years ago, I was able to clean this whole house in one day. And I mean, clean. I am an OCD person. You cannot tell it right now because I learned to come to terms with it. But I mean, washing the walls, washing the door frames, the windows, vacuuming, cleaning the carpets, everything in, like, I don't know, 8 hours. Now I vacuum the living room and but I learned, this is what I can do. I will have to deal with it. And instead of um, planning on, oh, yes, tomorrow I'm going to vacuum the house and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Yeah, you make the list. Say, today I vacuumed the living room and I washed dishes. Yay. I was able to vacuum the living room because there are days when I'm not able to. So that's the new normal. The new normal is when it's not about positive thinking. It's not about law of attraction. It's about knowing that you can do it. Maybe not right now, but you'll get to it. But not fall into the other extreme that, oh, I cannot do it. So, well, whenever. No, struggle to do your best. Of course, your best is not the same as your best as 10 years ago. And it might not be the same as your best of a year ago or 6 months ago, because that's the problem with degenerative diseases and aging. It's just getting, um, thank you, Cecile. So as long as you can accept that you have a new normal and you have to deal with this new normal and look at everything as an achievement, because it is. You have to think about something else. There are people who are in the same situation, who are disabled, who are in chronic pain, who have given up. And don't get me wrong, I'm not blaming them. Being able to emotionally survive, and I'm not kidding you, it takes so much out of your core being. Your body betrays you. It is so frustrating, not just frustrating, but discouraging. And I'm not blaming people who are giving up. It is the natural response of the mind. And it takes so much to be able to say, no, I will not give up. I will wake up this morning, I will have my coffee. And if I cannot walk 10 miles, at least I will walk to the kitchen and back 10 times. And that's going to be my walking. And once I do it, it will be an achievement. And then I can go ahead and do one more thing and one more thing. So yeah, it takes a while. And it is, creativity can bring in all this so much, because when you create things, and I talked about this before in some video, I forgot which, when you create things, And when you nurture things, that does so much for your emotional well-being, that feels so worth it. And it doesn't matter if you create art or if you do gardening and you plant seeds and you watch the plants grow. That is also so fulfilling. I loved to do that. Unfortunately, my physical limitations don't allow me to do that anymore. Um, but generally, creating and nurturing does a lot of good for your emotional well-being. And being able myself to help people who go through such harsh conditions emotionally in their lives, and being able to inspire them to find the strength to come back and find that life is still beautiful and they can still do things, is exceptionally rewarding. So yes, this whole thing is very, very rewarding for me. It can be horribly tiring at times, and I'm not going to kid you. I mean, there are times when I'm like, okay, I just cannot do this, and I always avoid to say anymore. I always say, I'm going to stop, not do anything today. I'm going to rest, and then I know that the next day I'll be able to do it. Thank you, Fran. Oh, see, and you can actually see the decline. If you look, when I started the channel, I was actually posting almost a tutorial a day. I'm not able to do that anymore. And I know it's getting slower and slower, but as I said, for as long as I'll be able to do it, I'll do it. And slower, faster, but I will do it. Now, talking about the future, so I will continue the series with the foam metals. Um, because I need to start wrapping this up. My back started telling me that it's about time. Then I have one more tutorial to make in the series of the four effects, and I will do that. Another thing that I will do, I need to put up a few more tutorials for beginners, because I got some messages and I actually looked. And lately it seems that I did not pay as much attention as I used to. Thank you, Teresa. Uh, to putting up some beginner tutorials as well. I posted the Helen Braille inspired one that I think is fairly easy to make, but I will make sure that I make a few tutorials for beginners. Yes, you will have a few more fake stones, and I will try to touch the sculpting thing, because I've been promising for so long. I do have the clay, I do have everything. It's just that I need to get to it. I'm slowly again catching up. The thing with Whisper pushed me back again, but I'm again starting to catch up. So there are a few articles that I intend to write this weekend and post them on the website. That's going to be on how to color manipulate your scrap polymer clay in order to get the desired patina look. So then when you make foam metal, you only need to worry about how to apply the metallic, um, what you call it, overlay. So you don't have to worry about antiquing. Then I need to not finish, but add more things on the section with what I use. And there was another one that I just forgot. That's chemo brain. Oh God. Because it was also with advice, and there was tips on something. Well, I'll have to remember. But anyway, and then I intend to, I've been trying to, I did upload some of the photos I need to restart my online jewelry store. It's just that it takes a while to set each article in that. And yes, I will probably have a stash really soon because I'm starting again to drown in things. And I know, and I appreciate the fact that so many people are interested and love my stashes. And I'll have a whole bunch of cabochons in the these stashes. And I was thinking on other things, and actually, I'm going to have to post some quizzes because I know people are interested and they purchase canes. Okay. I was wondering, would people be interested in purchasing veneers? Because I've never seen anybody selling a veneer. If a veneer is well preserved for a while, you know, or up to a month, um, it would be still usable, especially if it's not made too thin. Like because for example, sometimes I create these gorgeous veneers that I'm like, okay, I already have a lot of stuff. I have a lot of stuff to work. I cannot allow myself to start and do yet another thing. Like to give you an example, I have this now I'm trying to figure out what I can do with it. This is, if you remember my double-sided mokumegane, this is something done in that technique. It's with white pearl and some inks and dragonfly wings. And I don't know if you can see properly, but because of the pearlescence, it has a lot of shimmer. And as I said, when I'm creating new techniques and new things, sometimes I end up with these absolutely beautiful veneers, but because of the fact that I don't have the time, because that's my biggest problem, time. Because I can work for only so long during a day, I cannot get around to, like, I have these ones I need to finish because I said I need to make some little things here to, I don't like anything that's on the market, so I'm going to create my own endings. And I have several cuffs like that. And that's what I was wondering, if anybody would be interested in veneers, if I should put some veneers out as well, because I know how to store them. I know how to, it wouldn't be hard to mail them because, hey, they are flat. They can fit in an envelope, and the shipping wouldn't cost as much as for other things. But yeah, look forward for sometime next week. Some destashing will be happening, and with a whole bunch of stuff. And then another thing that I thought, and I actually got a few inquiries. I think I'm also going to start selling some of my faux gemstones, because I got a few inquiries about if I sell any of the faux gemstones I make tutorials of. Like somebody asked if I would sell like petersite cabochons and dendritic agate and mother pearl and stuff like that. So I think I'm going to put out some too. And the other good news is Deborah got from my wish list the rock tumbler. So that means that I will be able to make more beads, because for me the killer was I have in the kitchen a big bowl full of beads that I have made and that are not sanded and not polished because my hands didn't work very good, and it's horribly hard to sand round beads. But with the rock tumbler, I would be able to make more beads. And you'll know, because I said it before, whenever I make something, I use the scraps to make pretty beads. So I have a whole bunch of beads all the time. And I would be able to make more beads because with the rock tumbler, I wouldn't have to worry about sanding and buffing them. I mean, yeah, the varnishing is okay, but the varnishing doesn't look good if you don't sand beforehand. So, yeah. So this is pretty much what you need to look. Oh, and I had a few questions I'm going to answer real quick. One was about storing the polymer clay. How much polymer clay do I store conditioned? Well, I I showed before I keep my conditioned polymer clay in one of those how you call them, the snapping folders with protector sheets that are acid free, that are polymer clay resistant. But I only have conditioned the clay that I know I will probably use. Um, because one of the persons who messaged me about it was like, should I buy a photo album to put my conditioned polymer clay? Well, my response on that would be, if you have a lot of time to waste, yeah, sure, you can do that. But you have to think about it, no matter how well your clay is wrapped and stored, and you still have to condition it before working with it. So if you just want, for the sake of having that, instead of having little packages one on top of the other, sure, go ahead and store it like that. But I don't. I have drawers where I keep the polymer clay still in the packages. When I get the big 1 pound ones, because I always get the translucent, the black and the white, because those go like crazy in 1 pound and it's cheaper. And I keep them in Ziploc bags, and I only cut and condition pretty much how much I need, because I don't know. To me, it's an exercise in futility. Unless you have some leftover color from a project that you need to store, and I have for that a file holder that I put them in. Then why? Because you're gonna have to condition them again anyway. So why condition them twice? Um, then the other thing was, is Pardo better than Cernit? Well, no and yes. Um, I said before that each of the clays has its qualities and its weaknesses, and it is true that Spardo is my most favorite clay, but each of the clays is better for certain purposes. Um, some of them are bad for all purposes, like Sculpey 3. Some of them could be considered the workhorse of polymer clay, like Primo is. Primo is excellent for a lot of things, but it's not excellent. Sorry, I misspoke. Primo is good for a lot of things, but um, except for the mica shift, it doesn't excel in any of them. Um, the pearlescents are among the best for when you try to show mica shift, because they have a very rich mica content, much richer than many others, except for Pardo that has the same rich content, but the mica particles are much smaller, so the mica shift is not so flashy. But when it comes to other things, it's never the number one in anything, like Fimo Professional is better, and Kato are better for caning. All the other ones are better for translucents, and so on and so forth. But it is good for everyday projects, and you can do a lot of pretty stuff with it. Then Cernit has absolutely glorious translucents, and is the best clay for dolls, art dolls, and for flowers. Because it's so soft, it's not good for caning. The mica and pearlescence pretty much. Au revoir, Cécile. Pretty much sucks because it's so soft. Souffle is great for whenever you're trying to imitate any kind of natural stony No, I'm not talking about gemstone. Stony look, it's pretty good for canes as long as you go for organic canes, not for geometric canes, because again, it's a little on the soft side, so it loses design. Female Professional, it's wonderful for canes, it's wonderful for a lot of other things, the same as Kato, but they are very hard to condition. And Pardo is absolutely brilliant for, especially for gemstone imitation techniques, for flowers, for canes, but it's got the drawback that number one, you need to learn how to work with it because it's got so many difference than the other clays. And as much as it is beautiful and great for canes, if you don't know how to work with it, once your canes are stored for a long time, you're gonna lose them because you won't know how to revive them. So yeah, is Cernit, is Pardo better than Cernit? Again, yes and no. Depends what you want to do with it. You know, it's like you cannot compare apples and oranges. You know, you can compare rotten onions and pineapple, like that would be Scalpi 3 and Pardo, but not. So that would be another thing. The other thing would be about the molds. What molds do I use and do I recommend? Well, lately I've been working a lot with the best flexible molds and I'm very, very happy with them. And my only thing is that there is not more diversity, and I would really love to see some other lines of and test some other lines of cabochon molds, not cowbell cabochons, you know, cabochons. Um, but hopefully we'll see some of that soon. But yeah, for now I am mostly using the best flexible molds. Careful because some of them are better suited for resin, not so much for polymer clay, so they are very, very deep. And the ones that I use the most are the Cabo Shapes 2. That's for cabochons. Another one with cabochons is cabs and something. I'll have to look. And then eggs and almonds. And then one that's called Faceit, that's got all kinds of faces. Then the wild flights, that is the one with the itty bitty flowers and hummingbirds and dragonflies. And I have on my list the Tahiti, and hold on, I'll tell you in a second. And yes, I will. Another question was about silk screens. I will do silk screens soon. And also with recommendations of what I think the best acrylics are for that. And I will do some more effects with paints. But tell you which of the best flexible molds are on my future list. I wasn't able to buy them for March, but I will buy them in hopefully in June. Okay, so no, it wasn't Cabo Shapes. So I am using the Cabs and More. No, not Cabs and More. Oh, where are you? Egg Cabs and More is one of the ones that I'm using. Then if you want bigger hummingbirds than the ones on the wild flights, there's one that's called Hummingbird Lane. And the face one, it's called Let's Face It. The one with faces that I used in the live. And then there's a whole bunch of them, more with a lot of leaves and stuff. Oak arbories with branches, oak leaves, and dragonflies and acorns. There's a mini mold with a hummingbird. And then there's roses and butterflies. I don't use that one yet. There's another one with small faces. that I have on my list that are different faces than the ones on the Face It. Another one on my list is the Hittite Treasures. That's got all kind of tribal stuff. And there's another one called Tiny Embellishments that's got all kinds of things, hearts and crosses and dragonflies and things. It's not on my list yet. But, and I said the wild flights, and hold on, there was another one that I wanted. Oh, shit, where is it? Oh yeah, almond cabochons is the other one that I'm using. So these are practically the ones that I'm using. Let me get back to see the chat. Okay, so bye Amber. Sorry I didn't see you. So do you have any other questions? Remember, you can contact me either on the Facebook page. You can send me emails through my website, and I don't suggest you send me messages through here because YouTube does not notify you, excuse me, that you have messages. So unless I click by mistake on the messages, I will not see for a month that you messaged me. So if you have, and remember, one thing that I wanted to tell about sponsorship, I opened a new tier of sponsorship that is only $1 a month. And with that, you get access to the sponsor talk where you can put in your ideas and suggestions for the tutorials subjects. And also you have access to one of my live broadcasts that are sponsors only, and that would be the last Friday of the month. So that should be it, I think. If there's anything else, I'm starting hurting. I went well over an hour. So if there's anything else, you know where to find me and contact me. And thank you for being here. And thank you for being my subscribers. And thank you for all your help. Have a wonderful weekend. Goodbye.